What is going on, Alpha Hunters? Hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday. It is Hump Day Wednesday too. Yeah, we're seeing some pretty good action. Nice gap up on the market here today. SPY, nice gap up. Trying to, there we go. How much should we gap up today? It was about 0.5% of a gap up there, and then traded a little bit higher from there. Didn't really mean to click that. The high of the day, we actually got up to 0.75% or so. And then the interesting thing is we came all the way back down after that, first 30 minutes, little pop there. We didn't quite get negative here on the SPY. I was watching as the market was pulling back during this time. The Qs actually did get negative very briefly. Take a look at the Qs. You can see the Qs got negative there for, it was mostly there for about 7-8 minutes, kind of going back and forth there. Nice thin push into the middle part of the day. It's been flat here for the past hour, and we'll see what happens over this last 2 hours of the trading day, because kind of weird that we had a pretty good gap up. We continued higher. Taking a look at the daily, continued higher, but we just sold down from that level, getting back up towards that high that we had back in late July as well. We didn't quite take it out, but we got pretty close. Qs obviously are making new yearly highs again today, because it took out the high that it put in last week on last Wednesday. Man, hard to believe that it's already been a week since last Wednesday. All right, so there you go. IWM, nice upper wick here, did not take out this high from 2 Wednesdays ago. So I missed it by I believe a penny. Let me see, I believe, yeah, so the high today is 75. The high 2 Wednesdays ago was 76. So 181.76 2 weeks ago. Today we got up to 181.75. So nice move higher. IWM still up 1%. DIA trying to make its run back to those July highs as well. It's been on a very nice run here for the month of November. RSP throwing a little bit of an upper wick. Nice gap up 0.75% currently. What's really kind of lagging behind it is Big Tech. Big Tech's getting hit. You can see AAPL here down. Look at that. Nice gap up there on the AAPL. But it's down. Look at that. Just continuing to sell down throughout the day. Microsoft was worse off earlier. Let's see how this is doing. Yeah, Microsoft, gap up, sold off, down 1%. So, kind of interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Kind of interesting that, we're seeing the big tech sell off. And the biggest tech of names, the biggest names of anything, are actually negative, but the market's higher. So that won't last too long. So yeah, not saying go bearish here, but I would definitely be watching that big tech stuff. VIX also not making new lows, even with the gap up today on SPY, Qs, DIA, RSP, IWM, everything gapped up. VIX didn't really gap down. Kind of interesting. Didn't even take out the low that it put in back on Friday. So, so interesting. There. Just curious. How's the PCC looking? Put call ratio. A lot of calls. I thought there was a lot of people saying that the PCC was really kind of spiking. Yeah, whatever. Maybe it was this day, I guess, early back in October. But yeah, look at that move down there on the PCC. This is an interesting move here. I haven't looked at the PCC in a little bit, but you are getting down into some lower areas that we haven't really seen in a while. like consistently seen. Okay, go back to like 2021 or 21. We were consistently kind of down in this area for just calls. Okay. Anyways, I just thought I'd look at another volatility metric. Dollar continuing to push lower, trying to. Did it get into that? Oh, it did. So it finally got into this little 62% retracement level from the summer run that the dollar had. So that whole run it had during the summer, we finally just came back to that 62% retracement. And some people call it the golden pocket, sure, but nice spot to probably just if you were bearish on the dollar from right here, which was a pretty good setup there, all the way down. I think this is a spot you probably just take it off and see how it sets up. See how it sets up going forward. Yeah, nice move. Getting back down to this level though. Okay. I'd have no takes on the dollar for now until maybe you see how things set up, because the fact that this summer rally came and took out these highs right after a breakdown of a very important level, I'd just rather sit on my hands here. So GLD continuing to push higher, gold continuing to push higher. Yeah. Gold looking good. Continue to push higher. Dollar not exactly dropping off anymore. Gold continuing to push higher. So that's rather interesting. 10-year yield. 10-year yield pushing down further still today. It's getting kind of into those highs of last October, a little bit over a year ago. So it's kind of going to mix in pretty well here. I'd imagine it's going to get some pretty good support. We did break through that level, but this is the first time we're actually breaking out, and then now we're retesting into that level. So, kind of a tough one here. I would find it very difficult to be bearish on yields now. Like, so that'd be bullish bonds, right? It'd be very difficult to be bullish on bonds right here. I think there would be a little bit more, probably a little bit more of a consolidation possibly, and then you see kind of which way it kind of goes eventually. But I think you're going to start to get into a consolidation area here on yields. So, yeah, we'll see, but I don't know how much I'd really want to be bullish on bonds anymore. Okay, 10 and 2 inversion. Okay, so we saw this yesterday, where the 10-year was down, but the 10 and 2 inversion was up, which meant the 2-year yield was dropping off. Man, look at how much that thing's dropping today. Down 2% today. Oof. Yeah, that's the 2-year yield has dropped off pretty sharply here over the past 3 days. Okay. So we are finally seeing those shorter term yields and rates finally start coming down a lot more. Even the 30-year is dropping off pretty good today. 30-year dropping off 1.2%. Okay. HYG pushing higher, bullish on bonds. Yep. This is probably more of the shorter term. This probably tracks more of the shorter term interest rates. At least that's what it looks like for how strong it has been here recently. HYG though, getting above these highs, this big, huge consolidation kind of area that it had for a good part of the Q2, Q3, Q1 trading. But the fact that it's getting above that today, looking pretty good. Oh yeah, I pushed early, pulled back, and then it's climbing again. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks really good there on the HYG. LQD, same thing, nice gap up. Looks pretty good. TLT climbing, okay. filling this gap that we put in. All right, TLT looking pretty good as well. We did have a little bit of a rising wedge here, and looks like we're breaking out to the bullish direction. So the one thing I'd say about this is watch out for like a little rollover, come back down through it. Probably continues higher here in the next couple days, but it might take a couple days for it to kind of like roll over and come right back through these trend lines here. LQD, or that was the TLT. All right, take a look at sector rotation. So I'm gonna guess tech is down pretty good today. All right, sector performance. All right, so I was talking with my buddy Diet Cole this morning, talking about some real estate. He was doing basically the wheel strategy on some real estate, on a real estate ETF. So real estates are doing pretty good today. Saw that this morning. Financials also doing pretty good. So they're liking the yields. So makes sense. The financials and real estates are doing pretty good with yields becoming less inverted. Materials outperforming, industrials outperforming, and healthcare outperforming. Tech is actually outperforming. So that's kind of interesting since AAPL and Microsoft are both down today. The two largest weightings there in the XLK, so that's kind of interesting. Discretionary is in line with the market. Energy is underperforming. Utilities, communications, and staples, 3 underperformers for the day. Okay. How's the intraday performance? Financials just kind of grinding higher throughout the day. Real estate, materials, healthcare, industrials. Whoa. And then, so those are all outperforming on the intraday. Energies, utilities, tech, tech, staples, communications, and discretionaries lagging behind on the day. If you didn't hear, Charlie Munger passed away yesterday. That was a big deal. And it's a huge bummer because he was a legend. Not just in the world of finance and investing, but also in the world of poetry, man. Like some of the one-liners and some of the analogies he would say were just fantastic. I put in the Discord. Let's see. Let me bring it up real quick. 44 memorable Charlie Munger quotes. I can put this in the chat. There's a lot of them. He had a lot of really good ones, but he, yeah, it's really a big bummer. Obviously, that he passed away. He's 99. Is it a shock to anybody? No. It's just, it always sucks when you lose a legend like that. A lot of people invest using some of the basic philosophies that him and Warren Buffett kind of first got into doing. So, anyways, there's that for you. Really kind of a bummer. Let's see what we got here. Take a look. How's the heat map? Anything outline? Yeah, just big tech. Wow, big tech. Alphabet. Yeah, we'll run through the big tech stuff. Big tech's getting hit. Tech actually is not doing all that bad. It's just the big tech stuff. Even the semiconductors are doing pretty good. So, interesting. So people are folding their hands on the big tech area. Okay. Health services are getting hit pretty good today. Utilities seem like a mixed bag, down a little bit. Staples a little bit of an underperformer here, except for Nike. Retail stores also getting hit a little bit. Financials, yeah, we saw they're doing really well today. Healthcare doing pretty good. So I don't know where health services and health technology, how those two kind of fit into the XLV. I mean, obviously the health technology area looks bigger, is bigger than the health services. So health services not doing too well, but XLV was up pretty good. Processing industrials, telecom doing pretty good. Ford and GM are both up. Okay. Over the past, basically since Tuesday of last week's close. Tuesday of last week's close, XLK actually has outperformed the market just barely. Communications has not. XLC has not. Does that make sense? Discretionaries has. Real estate obviously majorly has. Definitely yesterday, real estate did really good. So XLRE looking pretty good there. Yeah, I kind of thought tech would have been down a little bit more. Let's see. So from the open of last Wednesday, tech is down. So that might have been what it was, because tech did have a pretty good gap up there, I believe, on last Wednesday. So from that gap up last Wednesday, tech has been underperforming pretty good. Pretty good amount. A little bit, about half a percent. A little bit of underperformance there over past week. Okay. That kind of makes sense, because we're seeing lower highs week over week on a lot of those stocks that make up some of the big tech areas.